Chapter 9. Georgia. Once my new pack is gone, Lance washes the dishes. He instructed me to wash up and relax from the trip, but I have other plans. We told him almost everything about our stop in Vegas during dinner, but I can thank Frank's recklessness and Mag's embarrassment for the surprise I've got planned next for Lance. Late in the Vegas evening, we looked for a place to spend the night and were asking around when someone recommended a store to us. Frank's curiosity won out, and we perused the small store with blacked out windows and red lights. Now I grab my purchases from my small pack and head to the bathroom. In the shower steam, I wash both my body and the toys. Everything came with a full charge, but I plug them in on the counter to top them off while I try to make sense of my wet curls. As a wolf, and a beta at that, I've never been too concerned about how my fur stuck up every which way as long as it was clean. Now, in this human body, I'll need to pay more attention to grooming trends here. For now, I run my fingers through my hair a few times until it's all going in the same direction, falling toward my back. I grab a towel off the rack and realize I didn't bring that lacy fabric in here with me. I glance at my naked body in the mirror and shrug. I'll save it for next time. Lance is back in the bedroom by the time I leave the bathroom. I'm so distracted from the scent of my mate that I forget to hide my new toys behind my back. Georgia, Lance says slowly, what are those? I grin. They're our new toys, a mating present for both of us. I hold them in front of me proudly with open hands. Do you like them? Lance peruses the collection of cock rings, vibrators, and one silver butt plug, amongst other silicone and leather items. I'm honestly not sure what half of this is, but I'm excited to try them. Good enough for me. Shall we start with this one then? I hold up the blue cock ring, and Lance's smiling nod is all the go-ahead I need. I set the others down on the nightstand as Lance walks around to meet me, but our lips meet like magnets, and the ring is temporarily forgotten on the bed while I taste my mate's soft lips for the first time in 2 days. My hands go into his hair, and he grips my hips as we sway in our kiss. Lance dips his tongue into my mouth and moans when I suck on it. It's not long before my teeth get involved, and his tiny little grunts and groans and the quick snaps of his hips push me to keep things going. A simple tug on his joggers makes him just as nude as I am, and then I'm wrapping my leg around him while trying to pull his face impossibly closer. I missed you, mate, I say against his lips. My voice sounds huskier than I intend, but it portrays my need for Lance all the same. He gives me 2 quick kisses before backing up to pull out a drawer on his nightstand. I missed you too, baby. He produces a bottle from the drawer and hands it over to me. Do you know what this is, Georgia? I shake my head no, watching him pop open the top and waft it under my nose. This is lube. Humans use it to help keep things slick. We especially use it with toys since most aren't self-lubricating. Will you put it on me and then the ring? I hold my hand out for him to pour some in my palm, and then I massage his cock with one hand and reach for the C-ring with the other. The royal blue looks beautiful against his hard, veiny cock. The Vegas sales associate had explained that the top half goes around his cock, while the bottom goes around his balls, and with a little help from Lance, we get it in place. Lance lowers onto the bed, pulling me with him, so I'm straddling his legs. He gives himself 2 pumps before lifting my chin so that I'm looking him in the eyes. What next, mate? He asks. I'm ready to tell him, but when I open my mouth, all that comes out is a moan on account of him tracing a line up my neck with his tongue. I was hoping you would tell me, I finish on a sigh. Oh? Lance says before repeating his tracing on the other side. I shiver, both from the heat of his tongue and the nerves of what I'm about to confess. Yes, I need you to dominate me, mate. Lance stops his perusal to look me in the eye. I need you to rut me, and I'm probably asking for too much. And? My mate prompts. I search the bond before I continue, but all I find is what I can already see in his eyes. Fire, focus, passion. I want to seal our bond. I want you to rut me here. I place my hands on my butt. Your language calls it doggy style, and I have to laugh. I'm not sure about how I feel about that yet. Lance and I share a smile, and he wraps his arms around me. Sweetie, we can call it whatever you want. What else? That's it. Lance kisses me. Are you sure? Yes. Another kiss. And I'm in charge? Yes. This kiss lasts a little longer, giving me time to savor the feeling of heat pulling at my core before I'm thrown into the air, arms reaching, heart reeling, and twisted to land with my back on the bed. My Lance has been hiding a secret talent. I quite like being thrown around, and I tell him as much. Then let me see this pretty pussy, Georgia. Are you ready to be devoured? Yes, I answer again, a lot more breathless than before. My eyes track him placing a pillow behind my head, but otherwise I don't move an inch. I don't know where this side of Lance has been hiding, but I hope it sticks around. Lance lowers slowly to his knees, kissing the inside of my thighs on the way down, his eyes never leaving mine. The first swipe of his tongue on my clit causes my head to fly back and my hips to roll. Little Wolfie, my mate sings songs to me. This is your one and only warning. When you break eye contact, he drags his tongue flat against me again. This stops. Do you understand? I nod. Yes. Good. Now show me how you touch those breasts when you think of me, he says, leaving me blinking at him for a moment. Once he sees my hands move to follow his instructions, he resumes his mission. His large hands skim over my skin, stopping underneath my knees to hold me more open. You're so fucking beautiful, Georgia. I almost don't hear him, even though he's looking right at me, because he says it so quietly to himself. He lowers his head back down, and the next touch I feel is at that sensitive button at the apex of my pussy, his mouth and tongue both licking and kissing, his eyes promising, and my brain quickly flatlining. I get lost in the sensation he wrings out of me. Soon, he flicks my clit with his fingers before deep diving those fingers into my pussy and focusing his mouth on kissing and licking my rosebud below. Time passes both too slowly and yet not slow enough as I'm once again brought to the edge of the world. Let me hear you. Let me hear my mate scream for me. That does it. My orgasm comes in waves that temporarily unmoor me from reality. I twitch and fidget, not completely in control of my limbs, and try to focus on breathing. Lance is still laughing at me, and I focus on his hands and tongue on my body to ground me. Little Wolfie, Lance calls me again when I can see straight. Are you ready for me to rut you? Yes, I whisper. Atta girl. Turn around for me. He doesn't even wait for me to try moving before picking me up and gently flipping me over. Beautiful. He moves the pillow from its current home, caught under my shoulder, and adjusts it under my hips. You still with me, mate? He asks. I'm about to retort that I don't know what would give him the idea that I'm not, but then I picture what I must look like to him, a strung out and boneless starfish on his bed, and give a yes that sounds more like ugh, with my face buried in the sheets. His hands trace my ass and legs and then up to my back. Good. Count me down, Georgia. He drags his dick along my seam as he speaks. He lifts my hips and sets them back down where he wants them. 1, 1, I repeat back, having turned my head to breathe easier. 2, I shout as he slams into my pussy. That's right, he says, let me hear you unravel. Those same snapping movements I loved so much when I teased him are now back with a vengeance. Lance slams into me over and over, somehow both slow and powerful. All I can do is moan. Lance continues to play my body like an instrument, adjusting my hips, pulling me back before I can reach the edge of the bed, changing the angle to make me feel new things before, all of a sudden, his deep thrust becomes shallow. I whip my head around to see that he's already looking at me. The serious, determined look on his face tells me everything I need to know. He pulls out his cock and replaces it with 2 fingers. A mate should be bonded. His fingers glaze my rose. A mate should be loved. A mate should be rutted. He pushes one, then both fingers in. Don't you agree? I pause, thinking he's going to move quickly like before, but all he does is slowly move those fingers in and out, that look of quiet determination still in place. Yes, I respond. Yes, what? Yes, mate. A mate should be rutted. Oh, well then, Georgia, he says with a playful half smile, you may want to hold on. I barely have time to register his words and grab hold of the sheets before he slammed back into me in a whole new way, and he doesn't stop. Over and over, Lance ruts into me with a passion and vigor I can feel brightly through our bond. I'm grounded by his soft kisses to my neck and shoulder, a complete contradiction of what's happening in my most intimate parts. All I can do is moan my appreciation. Little Wolfie, he halts his hips for a few seconds to take the C-ring off. Give me what I need. With his cock back in me and his mouth tracing my neck, I let go completely, shattering underneath him, drowning in the bliss of our completed bond. Under the currents, I swear I can feel our hearts knitting together, two pieces of one whole, unseverable. I'm crying again, and for the first time, I know what it's like to truly belong to someone, to matter. The heat of his cum bathing my insides mirrors the heat in my chest, a physical marker of what we've done, the commitment we've made to each other. Lance slows and lowers down to me, weaving our fingers together in a loose handhold and turning us onto our sides. We both lie there for a while, just breathing and enjoying this new sensation. He kisses my hair and my neck and my shoulder. I fall asleep in my whole world in my hands. The sun isn't fully up yet when I hear rustling outside. My mate sleeps soundly beside me, so I make the executive decision to snuggle into him and ignore it, focusing on the melodic rhythm of his deep breathing and soft snores. A few minutes later, though, I hear the same persistent rustling again, and it sounds like it's right outside the back door. I take a deep breath and slowly inch out of bed so as not to wake up my mate. At the bottom of the stairs, an offensive smell hits heavy in my nostrils. Female. And that's when it hits me. I connect her rosewater scent with the fading scent on Lance's couch and dining table. She's been here before. Oh, hell no. This is my territory now, my woods, my house, my man, my man, my man. My first instinct is to tear down the door and tear into her ass, but I'm in a new planet now with new rules. Out the window, I spot her, and it seems like she's looking for something. I just can't fathom what she might be looking for in my mate's backyard. Her sanity, maybe? Can I help you? I ask as I swing open the door. The frightened squeak she gives is 100% worth the dramatics. Why are you here? Who are you? She asks with a furrow in her brow that tells me she thinks she's entitled to an answer. She thinks this is her space, not mine. While I won't begrudge my mate relationships before I got here, now that I am here, I'll be the only one. And she needs to understand that. I ask the questions here, I say as I stalk toward her. You're on my property, and when your property, ask a question, I expect it to be answered. So I'll ask it again. Who are you? I punctuate each word with the 3 steps it takes to close the distance between us. She gasps and stammers before her eyebrows raise almost to her hairline and then slam back down. I'm Lance's girl. No, you're not. Yes, No, you're not. I don't know when my face got close enough to hers for our foreheads to touch, but I'm certainly not backing up now. And if you don't know it before, you know now. You are not Lance's girlfriend. And I know this because I'm his mate, his love, his wife, his sun and moon. I'm it for Lance just as he is for me. I take a breath, and she's smart enough not to interrupt again, so I continue. So when I tell you to get off my property and not return, trust that Lance will not come to your rescue should I need to remove you myself. Now stop stinking up my backyard so I can get back to snuggling with my mate. Her mouth closes to form a pout, and I think for a moment she might try to say something else, but her survival skills win out and she turns to leave. I scoop up the package she must have brought and take it inside. Blueberry muffins, my new favorite.